Actually, maybe I will go to a little bit of information about back windows. All right, so I think we're gonna do something because I've been waiting for a car that I had some time to mess around with and show you how I do back windows on probably 90% of the cars out there. You know, just something real simple. I talked about it in the Impreza windshield shrinking video, which the shrinking for this will be very, very similar. Make a damp towel with some ivory soap, just basic cheap ivory soap, smear it around, and you're gonna make a film on the back window of that soap. From there, we're gonna use a standard H pattern for our shrinking. I basically use soap and H pattern on anything that requires more than just simple shrinking out a few fingers. It's just a whole lot easier. So let me get this trimmed out here and we'll look at that real quick. All right. Okay, so we have our film of soap already applied on the back window here. And what we're gonna do is put us a nice wet line across the middle. And put your film up here. If you need to make any cuts while it's on the glass, go ahead and try to position it as close to where you want it. I don't really have to do much with this one, so it can kind of be off a little bit one way or the other. Let's see. So then we're gonna tack down our sides. You want to kind of smooth out and just get the film to lay how it wants to lay naturally. Make shrinking a lot easier if it's just sort of not being tugged on because of the water. Let's see, we're gonna take, so go ahead and really just seal that in place now with that water. Let's shrink it and go from there. You see, I like to shrink the outsides first, kind of work it towards the middle, just so we don't end up with a lot of excess film to be shrunk out on the sides. And just kind of watch along. Okay, so there's our back window shrunk. I'm gonna let the heat gun cool down a minute. Time I have it on for a significant amount of time, I like to give it 5-10 seconds to cool down. Good there. So, how I like to do this for back windows is what's called the Frankenstein method. Some people like to roll them up, some people like to fold them up. What I do is, granted, I've got long arms, so it works well for me, but I just kind of carry the tent on my arms like this, and kind of means I don't have to screw around with it too much on the inside of the car. So what I'll do is I'll put it down upside down on my peel board, and when I go take it off, put our hands underneath it. You'll see in a minute. We're gonna go ahead, take this soap off, just so that I can see how anything that might cause this issue on the glass. I noticed there was some glue from the tape on the temp tag. We wanna make sure we find all of that. There's some weird little something right here. These are those spots of glue. So we wanna make sure that we can see all of that before we install the tent. I have, I think, 5 tools that I use on just about every back window. We'll go through them real quick, and I always just take them in the car with me and use just about every single one of them. So tool number 1 is going to be white scrubby pad. This is the Reach. This is actually a really fun tool. It's flexible, rubber squeegee sides, and you can really get into places that are hard to get to. So we got our Reach, white scrubby pad, bulldozer. Bulldozer, kind of like the Reach. I like to use the bulldozer first because you can push it out. The Reach, you swipe it out. So we got the bulldozer with the scrubby pad. Then our last ones are Blue Max Fusion 5 handle. This is to really just push out any excess water and make sure everything lays down nice. And then yellow turbo. So put that on the seat there. Kind of just have them ready and available. Let's see, hopefully our video actually works. This car has kind of a low roof in the back, so I'm praying that you're not just staring at a picture of a roof this whole time. So first, we're gonna give it just a good general scrub. Loosen up any of those oils. They're like dirt likes to collect on the defogger lines. This will kind of loosen up any dirt that's on the defogger lines. And also, if you really pay attention to what your white scrubby's doing, you'll hear anything that's maybe stuck to the glass. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but where was it? Right there. And you can feel it too, and that's some of that tape. And so we're gonna try to take off that tape right now. We'll give it a squeegee though, double check that area in this area. So scrub as much as you can reach. Then we get our bulldozer scrubby, and this is good for cleaning behind brake lights if you're leaving the brake light in. Just reaching the bottom of the glass, get everything nice and agitated. Let that soap in the water kind of do its thing. So from there, we'll do our very first squeegee. This is to remove the contamination that we agitated, dirt, dust, hair, whatever, you know, just this isn't really quite ready yet to install the film. It's mostly just getting off what we just did so that we can look and see if there's going to be any thing we need to address. And we use our bulldozer, reach down on the bottom. So I think whatever was over here was probably something from the manufacturing of the vehicle. Maybe like spacers on the glass when they have them stored, multiples of them stacked. Our tape is what we really want to look for. So we're just gonna really go over this area. I don't see anything, but one thing I'll do, because we're gonna give it one more squeegee, is before we squeegee, we're gonna kind of just take our hand, and even though we can't see anything, we might feel something. And so just use your hands. Don't be afraid to, you're not gonna get anything dirty. It's all soap and water anyways. But no, I think we got all of the tape residue from that temp tag off. So now we're gonna be really mindful of how we're squeegeeing. And we're really gonna try to get all of the water off to the side and down. Because after this, we're installing our tint. I think I'm gonna have to make a new squeegee soon. It's starting to get lines in it. When they get lines in them, I usually will go to a new squeegee, only because I found once that squeegee edge starts getting a little rough, sometimes it'll pick up dirt and scratch your tint. So that ends up being my donation squeegee. I always got friends that have little projects. They come by asking me for advice, and I'll give them advice, and I'll throw them a squeegee their way and say, there you go. So push all the dirt, anything away, push it down, away and down. Mist on the top. You don't want to make anything run from the very top down. And then we're just gonna get our back window, all of it covered, and show you what the Frankenstein is all about. I like to just kind of wet this down. No idea why. Bad habit, good habit, whatever, just habit. Do thousands of times the same way. Peel our tint. I like to peel this way, side to side. Just kind of take all the dirt with it that way. One guy taught me kind of peel bottom up. That way it sort of lifts all the dirt away from it. Needless to say, I don't think it has affected me much either way. But go ahead, wet everything real good. I just come over here, corner, lift it up a little bit, throw an arm under there, another arm under there, and we're good. So my size, this part's a little bit fun. We just gotta back our butt into the car, duck our head down, try not to hit your hair too much, because sometimes that will knock hair into your tint. And we just give it a reach. Usually you can get it about 2/3 of the way stuck to the glass, and then I just slide it. It helps to have your water fairly slippery, good amount of soap in it, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing here, because right now this is going a-okay. Let's do a little more on this side. All right, now we're just gonna get the whole piece. We gotta go down a little bit more to clear those antenna wires. And then what I'll do is I'll slide it to one side, push that in, and then usually it'll be good on that side. If both sides are touching, you can slide it one way, slide it the other way. All right. Make sure we're not hitting on anything. Perfect there. look for daylight. Any of the, see, look, we got a little bit of daylight. So we're gonna bring this up just a hair, smooth out these. Now, something to think about, you do wanna make sure that most of these big pockets of air are pushed out before you start squeegeeing. Maybe nothing will happen. Sometimes you'll fold that over, you'll end up with a crease in your tint. So I like to just use the back of my hand and I'll just kind of work out any of the big pockets of air. And then you can either jump straight to the Blue Max. Maybe we'll do that here. We're gonna jump straight to the Blue Max. And you just push. I like to usually give one pass to each side, kind of just tack things in place. For people who are struggling with squeegeeing tint, struggling with creasing it, if you think of this, make a plus sign, kind of think of it as like an asterisk. So, you know, just kind of work from that middle in quadrants and just sort of work out to the corner. Instead of trying to like squeegee the whole thing to the sides, this seems to sort of help keep you from getting film bunched up and folding it over on itself while you're squeegeeing. Also, a good firm pressure helps too. You go at this tint soft, you're gonna have a struggle. All right, so got our top section done. We're gonna come down here, take our bulldozer tool and just push that out. Kind of the same thing. We're just gonna work it all out to the outside corner. I really hope you guys get to see this. Couldn't ask for a better subject. So got it out with the bulldozer. Now, very firm pressure. And just really push that water out. It'll help you with fingers. It'll help you with like little, what they call peanuts on the defroster lines. It'll help with just drying in general. Just really work that water out. All right. And then this is where I like the reach, because this one, we can really just fold that, get some good pressure on it, and just really give it some good pushing. All right, so we'll clean this up, and that's how I do just about every back window in a car. Works out really well. You might have a couple little fingers here and there, but let it dry a few minutes, finish the rest of the car, come back, knock them down, and you're not gonna have any issues. So I'm gonna continue with the rest of the car. Probably not much commentary. There's not a whole lot to talk about. So unless you want me to talk about my birthday. It's my birthday today. I had to work, had to go to school. So not too much different than any other day, but it's my birthday nonetheless.